Brock Lesnar will appear on Raw to have one final face-off with Seth Rollins before their WrestleMania match. Some fans have been disappointed in the lackluster build-up to the matchup between Universal Champion Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. Not very much has happened in the Lesnar-Rollins feud, besides Brock causing Seth to lose to Drew McIntyre, and then a few weeks later, Seth Rollins scared Paul Heyman. Expect an intense face-off between Lesnar and Rollins, and for security to have to intervene, and hopefully it will breathe much needed energy into the feud that has been lacking in recent weeks. There are two major wrestlers who are being left out of this year's WrestleMania, John Cena and Dean Ambrose, but that could all change if the reports are true that an announcement will be made on Monday that WWE is making a big change to the WrestleMania card. The rumored storyline will have Dean Ambrose coming out to the ring and cut a promo about how he was unfairly left off the WrestleMania card, and he will also finally address the news about him leaving the company. But just as he begins to go into detail, he will be cut off when Triple H's music begins to play. Triple H will ask Dean if he actually wants to be part of WrestleMania, and when Dean says yes, Triple H will introduce Dean's WrestleMania opponent, John Cena. It's been several years since John and Dean have squared off against each other, one-on-one. Fans will get to see them face off one last time at WrestleMania 35. Last week on Raw, a healthy-looking Roman Reigns accepted Drew McIntyre's WrestleMania challenge, as the big dog did not back down and ended up taking another brutal beatdown from McIntyre. Roman is out for revenge, but Drew is out for a clean sweep over all three members of the Shield, as McIntyre has defeated Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in singles matches in recent weeks, and now he's out to put an end to the Shield once and for all by defeating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Expect another beatdown on Roman as more heat for the match is built up, as fans anticipate Roman finally being able to put an end to Drew McIntyre's path of destruction over the Shield members. Monday Night Raw will take place in Washington, D.C., which is not only the capital of the United States, but it's also the original hometown of Batista. According to rumored reports, Batista will come out and tell the crowd how it's great to be back in his hometown, but the crowd will quickly turn on him when he tells them that he's so glad that he got rich and famous so he could get out of Washington, D.C. Expect Batista to literally be booed out of the building. Kurt Angle is scheduled to wrestle in his final match ever on Raw, as his farewell tour continues on the road to WrestleMania, where he will say goodbye to wrestling forever, and in his final match on Raw, he will face off against one-time rival Rey Mysterio. The two have faced off several times in the past, in some classic matches, so fans are hoping this will be a classic as well. But chances are, the match will be cut short when Rey Mysterio's WrestleMania opponent, Samoa Joe, interferes and causes the match to be thrown out, much like Randy Orton did when he interfered during Kurt's match on SmackDown against AJ Styles. Braun Strowman will be an entrant in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania, but also scheduled to be entrants are Saturday Night Live cast members Michael Che and Colin Jost. Braun will cut a promo that he is tired of Michael Che and Colin Jost coming on to Monday Night Raw, and he is going to go on their show, Saturday Night Live, the night before WrestleMania, to show them what they can expect when they step into the ring with him at WrestleMania. On the April 6th edition of Saturday Night Live, Braun will make an appearance on the Weekend Update segment as he confronts Michael and Colin, and then Braun will proceed to single-handedly destroy the Weekend Update set, and then a mere 16 hours later, Braun will see them in the ring at WrestleMania. A few weeks back on Raw, Lio Rush caused Finn Balor to lose the Intercontinental Championship to Bobby Lashley, but at WrestleMania, that won't be possible if a current rumor has any truth to it. On this week's Monday Night Raw, Finn Balor will cut a promo about how Lio Rush better not interfere in his match at WrestleMania. Vince McMahon will come out and tell Finn that Lio Rush will be locked in a cage over the ring to make sure that he doesn't interfere. However, In the past, that usually just leads to a guarantee that there will be interference, so it's also possible that Leo will just be banned from ringside instead. Women's Tag Team Champions Bayley and Sasha Banks are taking on Nia Jax and Tamina, Beth Phoenix and Natalya, and the Iconics in a fatal 4-way match for the championship at WrestleMania. This Monday, for the very first time, all 4 teams will face off in the ring in a talking segment, including the Iconics, who will make their first appearance on Raw. The road to the main event of WrestleMania 35 has grown increasingly complicated in recent days, and it hits another bump in the road this coming Monday, when Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey teams with Becky Lynch and new SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair to face the Riot Squad in a 6-woman tag team match. If Rousey, Lynch, or Flair betray either of their teammates, they will be removed from the triple threat at WrestleMania. One of the problems with the stipulation for this 6-woman tag match is it could lead to confusion as to what exactly it means to betray your team. Does it mean if one of the wrestlers decides not to tag and they lose the match because of that? Does that count as a betrayal? Or does it need to be a brutal act, such as hitting your teammate with a chair? The truth is, making the decision as to whether Ronda, Becky, or Charlotte betrayed their team in any way comes down to an opinion, either from the referee or one of the McMahons. But with tensions running at an all-time high between Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte, it seems that it will be nearly impossible for the 3 women to work as a team. According to reports, there are 2 possible outcomes for this 6-woman tag match. The first is Ronda Rousey will betray her team, but will plead her case that what she did was not meant as a betrayal, as she will get so emotional, tears will stream down her face. However, Ronda's pleading will be ignored, as she is removed from the triple threat match at WrestleMania. The second rumored scenario is that Charlotte Flair will betray her team and will be removed from the WrestleMania main event, as it will now be a one-on-one match between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship, as Charlotte will now be forced to defend her title against a SmackDown wrestler instead at WrestleMania 35. Whether or not either of these rumors come to fruition, we will have to wait and see, because the triple threat main event has been promoted for weeks, and to change it to a one-on-one match may not sit well with some fans. This year, Monday Night Raw falls on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day. According to reports, a yet unnamed wrestler will play an April Fool's Day joke, but some people believe that it could be Alexa Bliss. And Alexa Bliss will say that she is retiring tonight on Raw and will never wrestle ever again. But then she will proceed to say, April Fools.